Hello. We're back. We're back to the Empowered by Design podcast. And today I just had this energy to come on and talk to you. And I also really have to paint my nails before I go to this meeting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start painting my nails. And I'm going to talk to you as I'm painting my nails. I am using OPI Infinite Shine. I love it. I need to do both the base coat and the top coat. So I'm just coming on. This is season 9 of the Empowered by Design podcast. And it's a special one because it's all about authenticity. That's the theme for this season is authenticity. I am showing up here as myself. I'm just going with it. I was like, what do I have time for? Do I have time to record? Do I have time to paint my nails? And I said, well, let me do both. So, unfortunately, me painting my nails means we're not going to be able to do a card pull today on this segment, but that's okay because you know that we'll be back with the cards. I have so much to tell you. I feel like this is a huge reconnection. It has been too long, but also exactly the right amount of time. I have learned so much about myself and my creative process. And one of my mottos is can't force it, which is began in grad school, that the way it came out. And then it really just fits. I can't force the creativity. And so, if I do, if I'm forcing something, then you know it and I know it and nothing's good then. So, today I'm using this beautiful little sparkly pink color. I don't know if you can see it. I get even though they're OPI, I get them at Marshall's. I love Marshall's. I needed something that I could do super fast and like make mistakes and it would be fine because this is a very light color, but it also has this beautiful shimmer that I love so much. And it matches my outfit, at least for today. And it feels like spring is coming. The sunshine is here today. I live in Pennsylvania in the United States. And we've had a cold, well, obviously it's winter. We've had a cold winter. And today it's supposed to be like a little taste of spring. So I found this really cute dress in my closet that I never wore because I thought it was a romper and rompers do not work for me. But a couple weeks ago, I was cleaning out my closet, purging, doing all of the letting go energy, right? That has been a huge piece of since I've talked to you last. There has been a huge energy in 2025 to let go of the things that do not serve us, that we don't need, that have been like holding us back, to make space for the things that are in line with our values, our vision, our dreams. And one of those days, I just had this energy to start cleaning out closets and I found this dress and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to give this away. And then I realized, I found what I thought was a romper and it still had the tags on it. Don't tell Chad. I'm not good at sometimes returning things. I'm getting better. That reminded me when I paused is one of the reasons I wanted to come on here was to talk about how we tell ourselves stories. And when I said, I'm not good at ... a story I've told myself, and I promise I'll get back to the romper story and the closets, that I told myself was, I'm not good at saving money. So we'll come back. We're going to come back to that one because that's the bigger message here for today. So, I'm not good at returning things, blah, blah, blah. So when I was cleaning out my closet, I'm like, oh, it is a dress. It's not a romper. Now it's a dress that I have to wear pants under because it's too short for me to wear to work. maybe to the beach, but this is not a beach dress. So yeah, so I was very excited about having like a little spring floral piece that feels whimsical and pretty and airy and right in line with my energy for today. For today. My energy for today. Because what we're knowing as I'm recording this in the middle of March, well, almost the middle of March, is that our energy is kind of going in a back and forth, like almost like a whiplash is what I heard on the TBN podcast that I listened to the other day, that had all this information about all the astrological transits we will be experiencing. I'm not going to claim to be an expert, but I am going to tell you how I took some of the messages and interpreted them for myself. And this has to do with my story of I'm not good at saving money. So one of the big things that's been going on astrologically is that Venus has been, I believe, in retrograde. Again, I'm not the expert, but this is what I heard. I have friends who are experts, Emily and Angie in particular, who were talking about Venus, and there's some big thing going on with Venus and then also Mercury, and they're like something's going on there. And I was like, there's nothing really going on in my Venus, because Venus is all about love, right? One of the main things is like Venus, I love her. We love her. Is that it's all about love and relationships, and maybe you're feeling like a little bit rocky and chaotic in your relationship. And I was like, not really. Wow, for once, Chad and I have been like, great. And over the weekend, I had an appointment with my accountant to do taxes. This is where my story, I'm not good at saving money, comes into play. So taxes as an entrepreneur has been very stressful for me ever since starting my business. Because my story, for my whole life has been, I'm not good at saving money. And when you are an entrepreneur and you have to do taxes the way the government tells you, you have to do them quarterly. And also, as an entrepreneur, you don't get 401ks like people do in business, right? You don't get that. That's not something that you get that you can do as an entrepreneur. What you can do is something called a SEP. Again, I'm not a tax expert. I'm not teaching you about taxes. I'm telling you, I'm just sharing a little bit about how the planets have been affecting me. Love money, because love and money is something very deeply entwined in my life, all of our lives. For some people stronger than others, but for me, it always came to and I would pay my quarterly taxes, right? Because paying the government, I'm like, oh, I have to do the right thing. But paying myself, investing money, saving money in the SEP, right? Which is our equivalent to a 401k-ish type thing. I was not good at that. My story was, I'm not good at saving money. And I didn't prioritize, invest in my future, right? I paid the bills, I paid the government, but I did not prioritize investing, saving money throughout the year until last year. My friend Angie, you know her, you've met her, Angie Alchemist. She was saying one day, like, this was her talking. She was like, I'm so good at saving money, and telling me, because she and I have a very complementary relationship. She has a similar kind of saving money mentality that Chad has. Not exactly the same, but she's the saver, the budgeter in her partnership, in her marriage, and I'm not in mine. Chad is in mine. So Angie has helped me, like, life-changing helped me. And the day that she told me that, and I'm like, I want to be good at saving money, because I immediately said, I'm not good at saving money. And I'm like, you're telling yourself that story, Elizabeth. So tell yourself a different story. And I was like, Angie, I want to be good at saving money. Will you help me save money? I'm getting to the top coat. And she was like, of course I will help you save money. She sent me her spreadsheets, talked to me about it. And beginning at, I would say, end of June, early July, I remember one morning, it was July because we had been on a trip to Georgia for my son's baseball. And I came home and I got to business. I got to work on the biz of saving money and changing my own story. And so I remember bouncing into the bedroom one morning, so proud of myself for making spreadsheets and with columns for saving, and not only for the business, but for home. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to save money for this. I'm going to save money for that. And just like putting money, even if it was $5 in a category, I was now good at saving money. I was changing my story. And so I was so proud of myself this year going into the tax meeting. Usually every year I would be watching TV January 1st, and you know how TurboTax and H&R Block and all the tax commercials come on, and I would have like stomach aches watching those commercials. Seriously, the pain, the body keeps the score, people. We know that already. So I would be like, taxes, oh, money, oh, I didn't save enough. Oh, how am I going to pay this? How am I going to pay the government, in April? And also the money that I'm supposed to be investing for my future and the future of my family. I didn't know how. And every year I had to like cry and be so sad and be so discouraged, feel like a failure. And like a failure in my marriage, right? Because that underneath it all, the story is that I'm going to take these off. Ooh, it's nice to take these off. The story is that I've told myself, or the feeling is that when I haven't saved money, I am failing in my marriage. The money and the love is connected. And I can remember way back in the beginning of our marriage having to tell Chad, like, I have $5,000 in credit card debt. And like, he was like, oh my God. He's very much like money is a big deal to him. So I go to my taxes meeting and thinking like, okay, I did it so good. I'm so proud of myself. And, I wasn't having all the stomach aches. And then I go to my tax meeting, and here there was this huge chunk of information missing from my QuickBooks. So that's a story for another day. I learned a lesson. Don't wait until the end of the year to make sure everything's there. Like now I have in my calendar, because I cried again. I was thinking I'm not going to cry, and crying, like for me, it's not like, it's like just, I need it. I need to release. It's good. It's a good thing for me, but it doesn't feel good in the moment always. I was missing, which I did not know until after I got to the meeting with my accountant, and I'm like, I'm so proud. And then he gives me like, okay, here's what you owe. Here's what goes in the SEP, and here's what you need for local state. And I'm like, oh, what? Like this cannot be. There's something wrong. And he's like, okay, and I'm like, I don't know. There's something wrong. I have to figure this out. This is not right. I go home, do a little digging, and realize there's missing information from April 2024 all the way to December 2024, which was great to find out. But then I knew, okay, I have to do work. I have to like take the time to make that come back. I'm telling you this story because for a good period of time over my weekend, I was able to compartmentalize it for certain occasions, but there was this underlying, like at first in the meeting with my accountant, I literally said the words, I failed again. Those old beliefs came creeping back in. I'm a failure. My husband's going to be so upset with me. Maybe he'll divorce me. I was telling myself all of the stories that I've told myself. And this is what I'm talking about, that when this year of 2025, we are going to be tested. These movements of the planets, right? Mars and not Mars, Venus and Mercury doing their little swappy do and giving us whiplash a bit. These are energies that are contributing to us falling in the trap of telling ourselves those old stories. Those stories are no longer true. If you've been here, we're doing the work together. We are growing. We are elevating. We are growing and learning and healing and growing and learning. And it's this cycle that goes up and up and up. And even up here, even as we continue to grow, those old stories can come creeping back sometimes. And we have to, what I loved about this time was that I was able to notice it and be like, Elizabeth, that is an old story. Stop. Stop crying, right? Like cry, get it out, do the thing, have your feelings. And then what's the lesson? The lesson is you were not prepared for your meeting. And now I did have a lot of stuff going on, but whatever. You were not prepared. And now you're not waiting. You're not doing this anymore. Immediately I put on my calendar once a month. I am not only going to do my bills as I have been and save my money, which I was so proud of. I must be looking at the numbers every month and making sure that everything's connected, that the accounts are connected in my QuickBooks and everything is being tracked so that I don't go next year and be like, where's 8 months, 7 months of information? No, every single month I will be making sure it's there, looking at it, right? Rather than avoiding. When we avoid, it doesn't go anywhere, doesn't help anything. We still have to look. And instead of looking and like spending all this time, I have now planned the meeting for myself. Me and QuickBooks have a date every month. And I was able to like also work through, with the help of my friends, Emily and Angie, that this was a story popping up, an old one that doesn't have to be the story anymore because we've changed it, is that I am celebrating that I did good growth last year. Do I have more to do? Of course. Will we ever stop growing and learning? No. And that is the lesson, right? So welcome back to Empowered by Design. I am so excited to be back with you. I invite you to tune in to your own energy. What in love, what in money has been feeling like for you, and know that you're not alone, right? Know that you're not alone. And also I encourage and invite you to pause. Take that breath. We love that breath here. What's the old story that wants to come creeping back? Who's the old lover or the old partner that's saying, let me back in? No. Right? These things that are not serving you anymore. We have to continuously, this year is calling for it. We have to continuously shed, let go, grow, pause, look around. Okay, can I have a little bit of time of like peace, maybe a bit, before it happens again and again and again. And the result is growth, and you're good because you have the tools. We're good because you're here, we're together. You're not only doing this and listening to this, you're reading that, you're doing your therapy, you're going to circles, you're doing your inner work, you're journaling, you're meditating, you're walking, you're tapping in and tuning in and nurturing yourself, body, mind, heart, soul, and spirit. Yes! So I'm so excited to be back. I can't wait for this season, and I will see you next time. I hope you have a lovely, lovely day and a beautiful month. It's going to be a little, but we're going to do it together. So fun. Okay. See you later. Bye.